It is wartime, and I'm sharpening my claws by rubbing them it with rocks, and hardening my teeth by crushing small trees. In the middle of it all, rain falls on my hard scales, cleaning them of dirt. It's funny to think a dragon, just as myself, is telling such things and preparing to fight a war. But believe it or not, these are the real words of a dragon. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sablia, and this is my story how a dead corpse like me became a force of nature. Long ago, in a vast grassland lied my grave, and I would lay motionless due to a disease that has paralyzed my ability to move and hunt. For several years, I laid on the ground as the surrounding plants would grow on me and shade my body when it rained. But then one day, seven giant eagles came to my land, and the moment they saw me, they started to tear my scales from my body, one by one, and would take it with them when the sun had set. For several years they came like this and took my scales, until there was not a single scale left on my body. They finally uh, left. A group of humans came, and they would cut my flesh and take it as a prize, and collect my blood as a symbol of power. It went on for 2 years until I lost almost all the flesh on my legs. I had blood in my wings. In my pain, I would cry, but then one day a snake came and sprayed poison on my right eye, blinding me. I lost all hope to live or to survive, until one day a boy wearing a blue cloak, which was covering his whole body, came to me. The boy would sit next to my ear and would tell stories of a giant golden eagle which is attacking his village. From then on, the boy came to me after every sunset and would show his injuries of his fight in front of my left eye, through which I could still see. Hearing his stories calmed me down and made me realize how pathetic I am of complaining of my life. On every fifth day, he would bring water and pour it in my mouth and put a piece of his cloak on my wounds. One day, a loud scream was heard as I see rains of blood falling from the sky, and feathers filled the air, and in mix of it all, I hear the roar of an eagle crying out in pain, and to my absolute shock, it was the scream of a golden eagle, the golden eagle which the boy was telling me stories about. I was amazed and mesmerized by his defeat, and when the sun set, the same boy came again with scars all over his body and blood completely covering his clothes. Seeing him like this, I couldn't believe he managed to not only survive, but defeat the golden eagle and come back here to me. Tears for the first time was coming out from both of my eyes for the boy as he sat next to my ear. But instead of telling me a story, he recited Surah Yasin. And the moment he finished reciting the surah, there was no more movement in my ear. I understood then what happened. Anger and grief filled my mind as I cried out, Allahu Akbar. And all of a sudden, I started to see from my right eye. My left and arms, my legs and arms started to move. My wings started to stretch. I raised my neck and I roared for the first time in years, and shot fire from my mouth. Hearing my roar and seeing my fire in the sky, the seven eagles which once took all my scales came back, and I saw they were wearing my scales as armor. I shot my fire breath at them, and the fire from my mouth was so hot and large that it just burned three of the large eagles to ashes instantly. The remaining four eagles tried to attack my leg where there was no scales to protect me, but not only was I able to block their attack with my wings, but I also saw all the small pieces of cloak which the boy applied to my injuries healed. As rain began to fall, and I see I have new scales and are now covering my body. You truly are my warrior boy, you truly are. I replied in my mind as I gave a giant roar, spread my wings, and flew for the first time in years. I then flew straight towards the four giant eagles and fought them, and that's how my battle with them began. The end.